Good morning and welcome to Java and Jugs. I'm Ryan, and we've put together a powerhouse panel of sassy, outspoken atheist creators to break down the chaos that was unleashed the other day by RFK Jr. in his HHS and MAHA agenda. Thankfully, I'm not here alone. I have some brilliant and talented friends here who are going to help us unpack the anti-science rhetoric that is creeping into public policy and why it matters to every one of us. So why don't we start with my beautiful friend here to my right, which is Ember, and introduce yourself to, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and then we can move down to the beautiful Kelly here.
Fabulous. I am Ember from Better Than Ember here on YouTube. I do a whole bunch of other stuff, including good news over on the Transpositions channel, but mostly I try to focus on debunking horrible things like made-up pseudoscience. For example, yeah, there's a lot. I have a website, betterthanember.com, with all my links because I do so much stuff. It's crazy. Trying to list it would be a whole show. So yeah.
That's what happens when you're so super talented. You got to shove it all and condense it in there. So yes, go check out Ember and see the plethora of information that you can download. Kelly, beautiful Kelly, last but not least. And we do have others who are probably going to join in a little while. But Kelly, take it away.
Said it just for last, I see.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I am Kelly King, known as the Detroit Atheist Queen, and I really am not a content creator, though I pop in on other people's stuff, and I'm the lead affiliate for the Black Non-Believers of Metro Detroit. We do have a channel in the cut. Every first and third Saturday, we premiere a prominent Black atheist in our community. So watch that so you can find out more information about positive, real role models in our community that are African American or other kind of minorities as well.
We love it. We need to do better with supporting our vulnerable populations, supporting them by whatever means we can. And I think that's why shows like these are important, to showcase voices that don't always get heard, even if we're not like scientists. I think we probably have more knowledge than RFK. So
Yeah, because I feel with all
there
your
is that,
beautiful
but quite a few
channels,
of
I
us
don't feel the
are.
need that it needs to be one more channel. I can just watch yours.
there you go.
Yeah, but I mean, educational levels will vary across the spectrum, but it is important to remember you don't have to have a PhD to be a skeptic. You just have to be able to say, how do you know that? That's it. That's all it requires.
Very good. I think that's an important point. If anyone, because I tell you, after watching the Senate here, I don't know who else here watched it. Did you two watch the Senate hearing, or at least some of it? Maybe some of the clips that came out from it.
No, I am lost
The
because
AOC
when I
clip was
don't even
fun.
like to see that dumb stuff.
Let me just tell you. Okay, so I watched it. I am not the most scientific person. I love science. I trust science, but that doesn't mean I know it. But I have to tell you, I kind of felt smart watching that hearing. Hearing some of the things that were coming out of his mouth, I felt vindicated, like, oh my goodness, I could be doing his job, because that's just how terrible some of the things that he was saying. Like, he is a very disruptive and divisive person. Not to mention, he's just the freaking grifter.
It should be criminally unallowed to allow somebody that has no type of training in that field to let them be over. But I'm hearing this what he's done his whole life, starting with JFK. It was his dad, his brother, his uncle and stuff. So this is stuff that's been going on, and he's just been able just to move on and get in position without any training.
Yeah, just failing upward, the same as his cohorts. This is
Oof.
why the Senate is supposed to have oversight over appointees. They're supposed to vote on whether a person is qualified for a position. But with this administration, it's just been rubber stamps. Every random thing that the Cheeto Benito has proposed, they're like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Linda McMahon from the WWE for the
That's what
Department
I
of
was saying.
Education.
And,
Yes.
Let's do it.
and Discord. And then Dr. What's that doctor, the TV show?
Oh,
Dr.
so there's
Oz?
Dr. Oz
Dr.
and
Dr.
Dr.
Oz,
Phil.
yeah.
Both of them, Dr. Oz and Phil,
Oh,
who I
both of
just
them. Oh,
yeah,
well,
both of
Doctor. I
them.
know Dr. Oz. I can think of his name, but yeah, this TV. Yeah. What? All these
Yeah, we've
doctors
got so many
that.
people selling nutritional supplements, but Dr. Phil has become like new Vanilla Ice because he's like he's riding around with the immigration Proud Boys and
Mhm.
like cosplaying paramilitary himself. Makes him
He
feel like a big man. I mean, we with My
Well,
Pillow guy running around.
Oh gosh, right. Well,
Yeah, you got to
that
do
are our
something to pay
leaders.
attention.
These so-called leaders are turning everything into theatrics, quite frankly. Our entire not just our health system, schooling, the military, every agency is being turned into a joke and the doors are being swung open to be pilfered. And we're
who's
the
that?
ones paying the price.
I'm trying to think of who that doctor. He was on The Bachelor, and then he had that show with the four other doctors. I would have rather had him. At least he was better looking, nice looking guy. he
At least it's
could
something to
have been
look
a
at,
better
right?
choice. Yeah, he would have been a better choice. At least
And
if he was a
we should
doctor. He's an emergency room doctor, so that'd been better. He would have had
yeah,
more sense. Hey, Jason, look at trees.
we should replace the administration with YouTubers, right? Like we
Yes,
have
yes,
qualified people. We should make HHS should be under either Dr. Mike or possibly Dr. Ben. We
yes.
could have Legal Eagle run the Department of Justice. I think Devin would do okay. He might not be happy about it, but I
Department of
mean,
Justice. Graham would be perfect. He
It'd be
knows all
less
the
of a
legal stuff.
spectacle. It'd be far
He's
less of a frickin' joke.
mhm.
I would trust those people.
But I feel like
Deviant's
that's
here.
part of the point because that's fascism is to deliberately do the incompetence and make the people say it's wonderful. It's the best ever, the most jobs, the highest walls, the largest tariffs, the
Huge.
there's
Huge.
so much. There's so much.
Well, and I
I
think
mean,
that's why I don't like that Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz because they remind me of exactly Trump, like his kind of personality. Oh, well, he's direct. He's just a truth teller. Like, no, he's just an asshole who spits rhetoric, who lies to your face, and he's so convincing that you believe him. He's not an honest, upfront person. But for some reason, the people on the right seem to believe it to be so because I mean, I guess because they play into their fears, they play into their hatred. So to them, that feels like truth.
It's celebrity too, right? Like there's so many people that
Yeah. Yes.
conflate a person being in the public zeitgeist with being extremely good. Like, why else would they be so famous if they weren't good at the thing?
Mm,
People who
that's the
grew up
point.
in Jerry Springer times wonder how people could get famous without being actually good at something.
Mhm.
Unreal.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Celebrity plays a lot into it. I believe that is a large portion as to why Trump got elected. I think people worshipped at his altar when he was on his show. What's it called? The Apprentice? The
yeah,
Apprentice.
the princess. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people believed that to be a real person, like that he wasn't being guided, chided, told what to say, things weren't set up. Like people believe that was like
Mhm.
all of it was just
It's
real.
reality show. That's why
Mhm.
they call it that.
Exactly, exactly. So they believe that all these other celebrities also look to Trump as some kind of leader, right? All the celebrities that he had in the room doing these jobs and yada yada. Like it means nothing. It means absolutely bubkiss. It's just pomp and circumstance, It's
I think it's
entertainment for
deeper.
entertainment's sake is what it is.
I
But
think
now
What they're
you've
that's
doing
elected that
now.
man.
That's literally the governmental policy. Like, for example, the Hyundai plant in Georgia. They pushed and pushed and pushed to try to get Hyundai to build a plant to build batteries for their EVs. So the supply chain is all in the United States and they wouldn't be subject to tariffs. And then as soon as the plant is actually under construction, they send ICE in and grab all the South Koreans who are there legally to help set up the plant and totally screw over the plant's construction. That's fascism. It's one hand is doing a whole bunch of bullshit, and then the other hand comes on and slaps the first hand down,
Doesn't know
and
what
then
the other's
everything is
doing.
ruined.
They're not, you're right. They're not working together. The other doesn't know what one is doing. And on one hand, you got a president saying, yeah, we're going to bring up manufacturing and we're going to get startups here and all these job increases. And then on the other hand, now you've got ICE or whatever you call it, Department of War,
Yeah,
freaking.
that's another one. It's 1984ism. Like, we will have peace. I'm the peace president, which is why I'm renaming it the Department of War. Holy shit.
I look
That
at
is
it.
really
And then
disappointing.
threatening Chicago with it. We're
Yeah.
gonna use the Department of Chicago's about, how does he say it? Chicago's about to find out why it's called the Department of War.
But then when somebody asked him about going to war with Chicago, he told them, "You're very silly. That's why nobody takes you serious." As he was saying this to a woman reporter who asked him the question. And it's like, oh, okay, I see. So you can say it, you can call it the Department of War, basically declare war against Chicago. But then when somebody actually points it out and puts that statement together, all of a sudden, that's not the case. That's not what it is whatsoever. Give me
I'm
a
gonna break
break.
it down as a Black person.
Thank
He's
you.
specifically going after areas that have heavily Black population.
Yes.
Let's put this out. And every time somebody says war on anything, that's always been the case. War on drugs, always been the community,
Right.
always been Black community that they're targeted. And that's why they really love him, because he's able to let the racist, bigot, transphobe, gayphobe, whatever, come out, because they had to be hiding or not be open. And now they can do that now with him.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
They
that's
can
what
be
it boils
open with
down
their
to.
hatred
They
and their
don't care about
racism.
anybody, you know.
The amount of
Yeah.
times I heard them say something about DEI in that Senate hearing about like, well, now we're free. I'm getting sweaty because I'm getting mad.
Ooh,
Um,
so the arms
sorry.
now.
I'm like getting all
Every
sweaty here because
damn
I'm just
show,
getting
Ryan,
No,
just
no,
taking it
you
off
have
or
great
something.
arms. I don't want to show my arms. I look
I don't even shit, I don't even
crazy.
remember what I was saying, but I was what they said something.
Sorry,
Oh, the
my fault.
DEI. No, no, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
they were
Okay.
just saying, well, now we're free to do the things that we need to because we're not being held back by DEI, which is racist and yada yada. And I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. The evidence, we've seen the evidence of how DEI actually improves workplaces. It helps companies. It gives a more well-rounded workplace, which ultimately is better for every single person that works there.
I
Whether you
used
like it or not, that is just the truth.
I used to work in my area under the Catholic Church diocese for the immigration department. I was a secretary, so I didn't really so I got a lot of paperwork up for them and stuff like that. And all they want to do is get a better life. They're not trying to bother nobody. They're not trying to harm anybody. They're not criminals or things like that. They want the best of a life. And what if they do that to Americans? Because there's a lot of Americans that are living outside of other countries, and some of them are illegal immigrants themselves.
What
We
if other
probably
countries start to eject us like
That's
we're
what I'm
ejecting
saying.
other?
Because
Yes,
many people
Kelly.
are trying to leave, and they can send us right back.
Boom. That's such a great point that I hadn't even
So
thought
you
of.
take people
I've thought about
away.
other countries saying don't come here because I know other countries
There's
have been
people
putting
in
out
we're
warnings,
yeah.
advisories
'Cause-
not to come
and that's what
here.
the president of Mexico was saying. What if I send all
Mhm.
these people that's in United States back?
Yeah,
A
That would
lot
not
of
be
to
them are
good.
there.
mention, Canada, for example, has increased the restrictions that you have to clear in order to get residency in Canada as a U.S. citizen. Like, if you're already there and you're in a threatened community, like that non-binary person in Nova Scotia who overstayed a visa was able to claim a great likelihood of danger if sent back, and so claimed asylum and was able to stay. But first, you have to get there, and they've been tightening things a bit. Now, granted, Mexico and Canada are our neighbors, but there are other countries who've been making noises about reciprocal revenge kind of things. Like, what if we started just rounding up the US expatriates and putting them in camps in other countries
Exactly.
where we can't reach them or whatever?
That's horrible. That's scary. I heard of the other day of a gentleman who earned the Purple Heart. I can't was he from Korea? Shit, I can't remember, but he earned a Purple Heart, and he has now been removed from this country, and his wife and children are still here, and even after serving and getting an honor, a medal, he's now back in his home country that he's not been since, I believe, he was 7 years old or something to that extent. Spent the majority
That
of
is
your adult
bullcrap.
and your childhood, the majority of your adulthood and childhood in this country, and now to be disrespected. But that is exemplary of how this country continuously slaps Mexicans who served in the war, Koreans, Japanese, all these other people who have come to this country to fight and I guess what they consider to police the rest of the world, whatever. And now they're just going to be sent off to encampments and stuck in who knows, a long drawn out paperwork of a trail of having to go to court and paying lawyer. I mean, they're just now going to be in debt for the rest of their lives if they can ever even get out of the situation.
Well, that's sort of the thing. It's like Sarah McBride said way earlier this year after the new Congress was sworn in, that they put all this effort into making government not work so that they can then point at the failure and say, look, government doesn't work. You made it that way, bestie. And to bring it back to the point, they're doing that intentionally with so many things, including Department of Health and Human Services.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They're just going down the line, doing whatever they can to undermine each agency. So that way Americans no longer trust. So we don't trust in these agencies anymore. Parents, right now, parents are being, I think, put into a whirlwind of fear where they're probably questioning, should I vaccine my kids? Is it causing autism? People who don't know are now being put in positions where they might make wrong decisions because those in charge, those that they trust, have misled them all to make money. And I feel bad for parents. I knew it. Again, I wasn't very smart growing up or anything like that, but one thing I knew is vaccines work. That was something my mother always told me. Vaccines work, and I just vaccine my kids. They're all healthy, they're happy. Same with me. And the states that are now having an uptick in mumps, in measles, polio is coming back. I believe that is just all evidence, clear evidence, that these media moguls aren't showing. Like they're not putting the truth out there because they're afraid of the backlash that will happen from the Trump administration for putting these truths out there. Like the distrust in media. How are we going to fix this problem?
Media's got to stand up. They've got to grow a freaking backbone, even if they get their licenses pulled by the FCC for speaking the truth. That's the only way people will ever believe them, is if they speak the damn truth. Now, a lot of people aren't familiar, so real quick backstory. The whole vaccines and autism nonsense was put forth by a fellow named Andrew Wakefield, who got his medical license revoked. Oh. He didn't say vaccines are ineffective. He said one specific vaccine in a study that was retracted because it was bogus influenced autism by altering gut bacteria, and the gut bacteria is what caused autism. There's no causal link. Autism appears to be a neurodivergence that's genetic or something that's formative in your pre-awareness years, whatever the case may be. Like, you're basically born that way as far as we can tell. Vaccines and gut bacteria have nothing to do with it. But his whole thing is he didn't like the 3-in-1 MMR specifically because he was selling a standalone mumps vaccine. He was like, no, the vaccines are good. Just buy my single vaccine, not the triple vaccine. So that was that whole thing. All his shit got debunked to the moon and back, but that's where it came from. He wasn't saying they all cause autism. He wasn't saying any, like, it was just that 3-in-1 that he had a problem with. And it was also junk science because he was selling an alternative.
See, and that's what people won't know. Your average everyday person isn't going to go investigate this person to see if he has a motive, an agenda as to why he's trying to undermine
Mhm.
our vaccine science. And as Equus says, all the major media is owned, controlled by billionaires. So I don't see them stepping up until it's too late. And that is a big fear of mine. I mean, I understand, I know, but the rest of young adults, parents, older people too, who need boosters and such, who have spent years of their life trusting in science over I don't know how many years, I can't tell you, but after so many years of this nonsense, of this junk science, it is moving the needle. People are falling for it. And I feel the only way that we're going to combat that is education. And I don't know when that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well,
some people,
that's
even
why
though
we're
it's
here.
taught, and you go in there and the scientists, biologists, and other forms of degrees, talk to them and tell them the truth, they still don't believe it. You could bite them in the face and they still don't real and they still don't. Some things I would never understand. I'm like, I don't know this, but they show me evidence. I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, this scientists say this stuff. Because I had one person in my job, and so we had a discussion because I kept talking religious to me, and I had to let them know that I'm an atheist because I'm tired of that. And so I was pulling up like medical stuff and things that I've learned over the years. Well, man is saying this stuff, so how do we know that it's true? Because it's man, it's not God. I don't know. I don't know what to tell
That's the same
you.
shit I say about the Bible, folks. It's
I
man,
don't know.
not God with the Bible.
You believe in the Bible? Man wrote that. But I don't know. I digress, as Amber says all the time.
That's
But
right. That's right. We must digress. People come here for the tangents. I mean, well, I don't know if they come here, but wherever I go, there seem to be a lot of tangents. I'm sure it's
yeah,
purely coincidence, though.
This
and another
just quickly, I need to tell people this because what Equus said, my 80-year-old mother has become MAGA due to her latest husband. All of a sudden, she won't get vaccinated against flu or COVID. And
Oof.
that was my life. My mother, she had always told me vaccine, 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 trust the science, and she's a Jehovah's Witness, but she knew better. And now she lives in a state that has gone very red and hateful. And when COVID started, she wouldn't get vaccinated. She's not done it. So you've taken a woman who basically taught me to trust the science, and now she no longer trusts the science. It's happening. Oh,
For
somebody just
sure.
joined.
It's a
Bree!
Good
breeze.
Good morning,
morning.
baby.
No makeup, no doll this morning. I got gooey eyes and a drippy nose and
Not the gooey eye. Not the gooey ooey eye. Well, we're glad you're here. You look beautiful to me, no matter what. So I see them
Good
still
titties.
morning.
glamorous to me.
That's right. I like it. Well, welcome. You haven't really
Good
missed
morning.
too much. We're basically just discussing the perils of having
I like your natural hair though.
The
Thank
perils
you.
of Lorene.
yes.
Yeah,
We're all
the
getting
Yeah,
tied
how
to
nice,
the
the
long
nice
have you
railroad
been
messy
there,
tracks
Bree?
bun, as they say.
while our RFK twirls his brainworm.
Well, RFK does all the unhealthy stuff, so we don't have to, right?
That's right. He's testing it out.
He's like,
Oh,
I'll see if
bathing
it's
in
really safe to
sewage.
swim in the sewage or not. That's what he
Oh,
says. He's like, well,
Yeah, for science.
for
My goodness. So
science.
he's
and
done
then
a bunch of crazy shit.
and you see them. Do you know that bro be laying in a tanning bed? You put someone who lays in a tanning bed in charge of the Department of Health, like
Come on now.
that's a
With
cancer
what we
machine.
know about tanning beds, listen, people still do it. That's fine. But what we know about them, and I even used to do it. I would never go in a tanning bed anymore. No, just wouldn't do it.
I've
Not
been in a
going to.
tanning bed once, but RFK it looks like he goes like on a regular schedule, like every 2 weeks or something. He goes and gets a tan.
Like a
I'm
leather
surprised he
handbag, like
doesn't
an
have
aged
skin
leather handbag.
cancer or something.
What'd you say,
Yeah,
Kelly? I'm
well,
sorry.
Surprised he don't have skin
maybe
cancer. I'm saying that seriously.
Maybe bathing in the raw sewage protects him from skin cancer. Maybe it works in tangent.
It's like chemo, but for your skin. It kills you, but it kills cancer slightly faster. You appear to be muted, Ryan.
Ryan muted herself to punish herself for talking over Kelly.
Bad girl.
You've been a bad girl, Ryan.
Go sit in the corner.
Naughty.
Yeah, you need to be punished.
Punish me. So, okay, as parents, is everyone here a parent?
Mm-hmm. I have 5 children.
Okay, so for any of you, when it came time to vaccine, was it ever even like a question in your mind of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't get this vaccine?
Oh, I got a story on that. So
Tell me,
my ex-wife was an anti-vaxxer. That was part of our tension in our marriage. And our youngest child got all the way to kindergarten age with no vaccines. One day, I don't remember what the situation was, but I was the one at the doctor's office with him. And I didn't, I was totally oblivious, and I didn't have any strong feelings either way because I was floating through life at the time, but just trying to be the best parent I could. But I get to the doctor and the doctor's like, this child has not had any of their vaccines. We need to get them caught up. And I'm like, okay, let me call my wife and let her know that we're going to go ahead and get them caught up on the vaccines. And she blew up on me. And the doctor literally said to me, he said, get this child vaccinated today or don't come back. If your wife has a problem with it, she can come talk to me in person. And I was like, okay. And I did it. And that was the end of it for that. But she continued to send me articles about how autism was caused by vaccines and blah, blah, blah. So lo and behold, when our son got to about 3rd, 4th grade and got diagnosed with autism, guess whose fault it is?
Uh-huh.
Not the vaccines. Yeah. Oh, yours. Oh, you have.
Oh my gosh. Come.
Because I went and took him to get vaccinated.
Did Jenny McCarthy, is that who did it? Is Jenny McCarthy the one?
So there was a lady in our little town. We had came from a little town with like 3,000 people, right? And there was a lady in the town that ran a after school program club, and she preached to the moms during the club about the dangers of autism while their kids were playing on the playground. So about like half the women in the town were anti-vaxxers by the time she was done. And yeah, she was into the Jenny McCarthy stuff. My wife wasn't, though.
Well, the Jenny McCarthy thing was kind of what made me question, because that was right around the time where like I was learning about autism. I was like, is this what it is? And that's when I was asking my mom, and my mom was like, nah, bitch, get your kids vaccinated. And that was it. I put it out of my mind. I never questioned it again. My kids are happy, healthy. But I blame Jenny McCarthy for making it a very popular topic. Another one of those celebrities who, just because they are a celebrity, is given a platform and trusted.
I suppose we should be grateful that they haven't decided we're contagious. Or something like, fuck, we got to put you autistic people in cabs because the spectrum will spread. But this is the same generation. Coincidentally, the reason I never questioned vaccines is because I'm old enough to know people who still had their polio shot scars.
Yep.
We're like, if not my mom, I'd probably be dead,
Right. My mom
has hers, so yeah. My mom had
it worked, so I just never questioned it. I was like, it obviously works. I've seen evidence of it working. Of course, we're going to do this. But it's the same generation of people who are like, don't believe everything you hear on TV. Don't believe everything you read in the newspaper. Ask questions. People will lie to you. As soon as a famous person shows up, they just lap up every fucking word with no critical thinking at all.
Yes, that is very true.
Things on this topic. I'm gonna say 2 things.
Please do.
One, first thing, I was leery at first about chickenpox vaccine because I'm like, I had it. So my grandma, because they didn't have a vaccine at the time. They didn't come till the 90s when my kids grew up. So I'm like, oh. cares about them having a chickenpox vaccine? Stupid
Did
thing
you
that I
did
thought. And so my my brother ended up catching it. So somebody in school, and then my granny, who's my father's mom, told all our cousins, like 30 of us, around the same age, to stay over her house till we got rid of it and stuff like that. You know, which was stupid now because now we have the opportunity now the age that I can get shingles, which is worse than chickenpox.
Oh gosh, yeah, I remember the chicken pox parties. That was what we did when
Yeah,
it was
chickenpox
my
parties.
age.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
yeah.
whole
they wanted to do that with COVID too. Let's have some COVID parties, even though
they
they don't know
did, I
what
think they
long COVID
did.
does to people.
Yeah, I think they did, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of people I think there was a lot of deaths
And when
from
I
that.
was
Not
That
from, sorry.
younger,
sounds right.
I caught
Sounds white.
German measles because I was too young for the vaccine, and my cousin had it and didn't know, and came over to visit me as a baby, and I ended up catching it. So I was really
All
sick
of
at
these
that time.
vaccines.
Yes, I was too young to actually get the vaccine, so I actually had the German measles as a child. That was not cool.
Yeah. You're the first
Yeah,
person I
Oh,
think I've ever met that actually had measles.
yeah, I don't
yeah.
know that I've had what was that like? What does it feel
I don't
like?
remember because I was little. I was a baby.
Oh,
I
I
remember
no.
what
had
my mom
chicken
told
pox,
me.
but
I
I never
was
had measles,
yeah.
and they didn't have a chicken pox vaccine when we were
Yeah,
kids. They
it
just
didn't come
you
until the
just
90s, but
wrote it
yeah, I had
out.
measles. I was like 9 months less than
Damn.
9 months, my mom said, and I had the measles.
It's like
So yeah,
really dangerous for infants. Now,
yeah, yeah. I
it's
was real
still not
sick and
common
everything.
even today, but it involves a very, very high fever among other symptoms. It's likely that even
Yeah,
if you were older, you wouldn't remember because it malforms all your proteins and shit from the fever.
yeah.
And it's
I
very,
didn't.
very hard to form encoded memory engrams when your
Oh,
proteins aren't working because they're molten.
oh, no,
I
see,
didn't
no,
know
no,
any of
see,
that.
Kelly's living proof that we don't need it. She's fine. She's stronger than ever.
Right. Like I didn't even know there was
We
a
gave her
chickenpox
character.
vaccine until my kids got older, and suddenly I
Well,
noticed they've never
It
had
just came
chickenpox.
out like
And I'm like,
95,
what?
94, 95. Because my oldest was the first one to get it. My kids have never had chicken pox. Thank you, vaccine.
yeah, my kids didn't have
Right.
chicken pox either.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
still got
But
scars from when I had the real thing.
I have a
yeah.
couple
like I
scars
think
too.
all this vaccine stuff is just to distract us from the healing powers of crystals, though.
It's true.
Actually, crystals are going to be the new thing that we wear to ward off any kind of disease or bacteria. Like, those
Or
crystals.
tism. You can
Yeah,
wear a crystal to protect you from the tism.
it'll create like a what do you call a
An
force
aura.
field?
Yeah.
Aura. Fuck me. An aura that will just
Only if
make
you
everything bounce
center
off.
your
It's like
awareness
Yeah.
in your
rubber.
solar plexus chakra and manifest the protective field. If you forget any of the important steps, then you're vulnerable.
All you gotta
What
do
if
is
you've
just have
already
your
been chipped?
pastor pray over you.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do.
What if you've already been chipped during the jab by Bill Gates, though?
Oh no.
Are you still able to use your crystals?
Uh,
What if the chip has a crystal in it?
Oh my God. I'm just waiting for this to actually, I bet you somebody's selling, there has to be somebody online selling crystals, telling people that it will actually, like having their chakras aligned will make diseases repugnant. It will bounce off.
There for sure are. I've met people. Okay, so they're in my area of New York. They do a psychic fair a couple of times a year, and the Pagan Pride Festival, which happens near the autumnal equinox, is mostly woo-woo peddlers. Like there's a few clothing vendors and whatnot, but whatever. It's just it's wild. And so there's people who run around and are like, well, yeah, having your chakras in line increases your actual health. It makes you resistant to disease because we know from actual science that having lower stress levels boosts your immune system function. The more stressed you are, the less your immune system works. So having your chakras in line just kind of automatically lowers your stress levels somehow. And therefore it's good for your immune system. Yay.
Imagine
My
that.
chakras are all fucking, like I got one over here and then one down over there under the bed. I don't even know where the other ones are.
My chakras are shock. They're in shock
Yeah.
right now.
mine is 75 too.
Oh, me too. 75.
Oh,
Still
okay.
alive. Okay,
Well,
75.
you was my age. Okay.
Y'all make me feel like a baby. I'm 83.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
you
you
did.
little
Oh, you little Tyler,
baby.
you.
Baby.
He's
You
I
are
was
just
the
a
gonna
little
say
youngest in the
this,
baby.
group.
Ryan. Off
I'm the
topic,
baby here.
the pumpkin spice flavor was at the bottom.
So
That's where they
basically,
keep
Yeah.
it
it.
needed mixed. It was all just like a
I think the
freaking.
last little bit I taste pumpkin spice. I was like,
See, this
Lord,
is why I
no.
drink my coffee with a straw. Partly because my teeth were bad for years and years, and I had to. But I keep it even now because then you can
Smart.
stir your coffee at any time and keep it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's at the bottom of the bottom little taste is pumpkin spice flavor.
I
Yes,
Y'all
know.
I'm
do
basic bitch.
remember
I'm a basic bitch. I drink pumpkin spice latte.
it's
Don't
pumpkin
let the
spice
color
season.
fool you.
She didn't wear Uggs
Yes.
this morning, though. She didn't wear Uggs.
Y'all,
She didn't have a scarf.
I do have a lot of Uggs though. I have different color Uggs.
I love
I have
Uggs.
like 5 color Uggs.
I don't have much use for them down here in the desert. Uggs aren't desert wear.
I'm surprised that
I
they
don't
don't
even have a
wear
single
them.
pair of Uggs. I'm so ugh.
Ooh, that
Yes.
sounds
Maybe the
yummy.
thrift store will get some
A
soon.
coconut
I
milk. That
just made
sounds
my own coffee
good.
this
Where'd you get
morning.
that from?
Yeah, I don't know where you get that. Coconut mocha? Where the hell where they sell that
Yes.
at?
That's what I want to
Coconut
know.
mocha? God
But
dang. Yeah,
yes.
that sounds delish.
I love fall. It's my favorite time of the year. I like all the pumpkin spice stuff and hot
Dutch
chocolates.
Bros,
And
yeah. Oh, they have a Dutch Bros here too. That's one thing that they have here they didn't have back home in the upper Midwest.
I don't
It's
think
like,
we
oh my
have.
God, this is so good. I don't ever have to go to Starbucks again.
We'll be
Yeah,
here
don't
waiting.
leave us.
A
Oh, you little baby
Kokomo?
born in
Oh, that's
78. You
amazing.
little Tyler, you 78.
Way down in Kokomo.
Bermuda, Bahamas.
Mamas, come on, pretty mama. Chicago, Montego.
Who
Ooh,
just
I
said
want to
Kokomo
take you.
didn't
They just
even
say we
exist.
know this song.
That's an
Yeah,
old song.
people come to hear
I
us
know.
sing all off key and off beat
Yeah,
with each other.
I still be
Well,
singing
still
round,
better than
round, get
listening.
around, I get around.
Yeah. Well, I tried to play guitar and stuff with people on like meetings like this, and there's just too much delay.
Oh yeah, that would suck. Well, it'd be fun
Yeah,
though if we did a talent show. I would absolutely love to do,
I would be
even
a
if it's just like
judge.
funny and it's not necessarily talent, but it's just it'll make you laugh and fun to do.
I fix my lipstick again. Hold on. I'd
You're
be
welcome,
proper.
Lil. We're happy to help anytime. But yeah, listening to us is still better than listening to any member of this fucking administration. And
Right.
so to the point, some of his crazy ass changes. He has done a whole bunch of ridiculous stuff. Starting with the layoffs. Now, in fairness, those are only partially his responsibility. Some of them also come from that Elon fellow. But they've laid off 20,000. They wonder why unemployment is up. They've laid off 20,000 staffers and volunteers. How do you lay off a volunteer? They managed it. That makes up about a quarter of their workforce. So they're not able to do what they used to do. But that's okay because they're not doing what they used to do. The department had 28 divisions. Now it has 15, or it's on its way to 15. They're still doing consolidation.
Jesus, that's almost half.
So they're just not doing a lot of things they used to do. They're consolidating a bunch of stuff into the new Administration for a Healthy America. AHA, the MAHA of AHA.
No,
whatever.
I can't. No, please take on me.
Okay.
Yeah,
me
and they're
on.
What's
doing
right?
Sing all day today.
just completely unrelated things. Like they're taking mental health and maternal health and child health and environmental health, and now they're all one department.
Okay, I'm leaving. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. No. Why is that's just absolutely ridiculous.
It's like they have a department of people who are like, what's the most ridiculous thing we could possibly do? Cool, let's do that.
Rename the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, sorry. That was
Send troops into Chicago.
Yeah.
Is that going to stop disease? We can go to war against the disease. Can we shoot diseases?
No, we're invading our own cities. It's
fire a nuke into that hurricane, stop it right in its tracks.
Yeah.
You just got to draw a Sharpie line. I mean, that's the solution to elections now, apparently, too, is just draw Sharpie lines. Bloody hell.
Molotov cocktail for the win. Let's celebrate.
I don't know what that is. What does that
They're
consist of?
centralizing
You know,
everything.
the bottle, you take a wine bottle and you fill it with volatile chemicals and you put a rag inside of it and you light the rag and you throw it into the house of your favorite state representative.
It's like a cocktail bomb, as we called it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Called
I
a
should
Mazel
say
Tov
that on the
cocktail.
Kelly,
street.
it's a love bomb, Kelly.
A love bomb. Okay, a love bomb. Okay, yes. I'm familiar with that.
I should probably not explain how to make explosives live on your channel, though, Ryan.
Yeah, maybe let's not, just in case.
No.
Do not commit crimes on live broadcasts.
Yeah, let's
But if you have access to the Anarchist Cookbook, you can find out what the government doesn't want you to know about stuff you can make with what's under your cabinet. That's for real, though. There's a lot of things that that they don't let us do or know about that we could actually be working towards. Not explosives, but like when it comes to things that there are that are of public health interest, right? Like there's better ways to dispose of certain types of waste than the way that we do, but because the cost efficiency, because of the profit margins that they make at disposing it in the current way that they do, we don't even know about the methods to dispose of waste, and we just continue to use landfills and chemical waste dumps and things like that.
Yeah.
It's
and there's several things that we should be aware of for our own health. Like there are two very common household products that, if mixed together, produce fucking mustard gas. And the number of people who accidentally gas themselves every year because they
ammonia,
don't know those
I've
two
done,
things make
yeah.
mustard
Nope,
gas.
I won't say that, but I've done that. I've been that stupid person that's mixed those two chemicals together.
Kelly mixing up mustard gas up in Detroit.
Did do it on purpose. As
I'm like, when I passed off, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like,
the mad gasser of Detroit. Now we know who it was. Now we know.
That was me.
He is charged.
But I want to backtrack a little bit. It was a thought when I was talking about me and the I forgot about what I was about to say at that time, but after I talked about me and the chicken pox and the measles and stuff, a lot of Black people were scared to get vaccinated because of the Tuskegee testing that was done to them years ago. So I didn't want to get that done. So it's like my mom's generation. And so a lot of them was like, no, we don't touch the medical field anymore. We're not going to my granddad would not go to we had to force him to go to the hospital.
Kelly. So I think all three of us know about the Tuskegee experiments, but for the people in the audience who might not know, you want to give a quick rundown of it and how it impacted the Black community?
Okay. Quick thing is that this was a study done specifically for Black individuals that had syphilis, but the doctors did not tell them because they wanted to see how it spread.
Oh, man.
So they went in and there's like 6 individuals, did not get them tested. So they gave it to their significant others. They broke up with them. Some others gave it to other people and it spread. So it ended up going to a lot of different people. And at the end, some people died. They lost their minds. They went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The long-term effects of syphilis on the brain, untreated syphilis, and they had penicillin and antibiotics to
that was the cure for it.
They just withheld them to see.
Basically, let it take its course so they can see what damage would be done.
But they only picked the Black individuals to do this.
Of fucking course they did. Of course.
So Black people was like, no, I don't want to.
Well, everything that they're doing, every change that they make is going to affect neighborhoods, with more, people of color, vulnerable, people as well. All these changes will affect a specific group of people more than the white folk.
And this is why when people try to talk and say, oh, slavery has been over, nobody in your family was slaves. Well, my great grandma was a slave and I knew her, but it's still little stuff like that is still going on.
Well, we might not know a slave, but we all know somebody who lived under Jim Crow. Right, which is the time period that the Tuskegee shit went down at.
Yeah, that's my grandma. That was my mom's time, grandma's time. So I was there. You know,
You
that
could, if you
that
all
family
you
that was
born in
shared, that
'75,
was
you grew up
sharecropping.
during the
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I mean, the Civil Rights Act had passed, but there were still echoes, especially in
Of course, there's
urban
still echoes.
areas.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
So I'm like,
we're
this
struggling with
is
it still to
stuff
this
that's
day. Come on.
going to this
Yeah,
day where we're
there's
and
quite
you
a
want
lot
to make
that's
America great
still
again. So
happening.
where do you want to go back to? What part?
Because there's never a period. I mean, unless you want to go
Not for
back
me. It's never been a
to like
time in America that's been great for
1300.
my
If you want to go
family.
back to 1300, then yeah, this country, this land was great, if you ask me,
Unless you count the
before we came.
colonizers that raped my I can say that word on oh man, sorry.
I
That
think it was blended.
raped
You're good.
that
Great.
raped my the black people. I guess those are the
Mhm.
people that were great. My European blood. That's great for them. But not for
Well, you
me.
still have people that will argue that black people are so much better, and that they because of slavery. Look, they got to come over here and be part of the
Yes.
U.S. It's like,
And that's
most
what they're
disgusting
trying,
shit
that
you'd ever
rhetoric is what
hear.
they're trying to infuse into school too. Like with PragerU and the Blue Bonnet coursework, that is the kind of rhetoric that they put forward, that enslavement actually helped people of color. It got them to where they are now
Let's
today,
break
and to
down
freedom.
the
And to,
truth.
please
Is
do.
what people want to say.
Yeah, got them out of
Many
Africa.
black people were
Africa's so
already
terrible
here in
because they're
America. We were explorers, so many of us were already here. Many of us did not come. Some of us were taken into slaves while we were here. When they talked about taking Native Americans, we weren't Americans in that sense, but we were here living amongst the Native Americans.
Mhm.
Now, there were a lot of people that came over from the slave trade. Don't get me wrong with that, but not everybody came over from the slave trade.
Well,
We
I
were
think
captured while we were here.
part of the problem is that this day and age look back at our ancestors and think that they were unable to do anything. They believe that the pyramids were created by aliens. No,
Aliens.
man, they were creating boats. They had inventions that we can't even figure out to this very
Yeah.
freaking day. They were travelers, okay? Maybe they didn't get as far, but people did travel to this continent that we are in way before colonization times. But
Exactly.
people don't want to hear it
We were
because
there, so how can you even say like we'll be better off? And we're already here exploring and doing navigations and stuff like that, and
well.
had the astrology of my words. Even
I'm going to put
then,
this out there right now, and people can disagree with me if they want, but Africa is the best continent for humans. That's why we evolved there.
I agree.
It's where all the resources and foods and everything that we're evolved to eat and consume come from. It is the best place for humans to live. We are tropical apes that thrive in an environment that Africa specifically has to offer. Yeah, we've evolved since then, but like the nutrients that we need and stuff are all there. But unfortunately, Africa had this neighbor to the north that wanted to strip all of its resources and leave it in an impoverished state. And that really wasn't something that that they were prepared to deal with, because they're living in paradise. And when you live in paradise, yeah, you live in paradise, which Africa was. And I mean, not literally. Obviously, paradise doesn't exist in any form, but like it was the closest to a perfect place for our species to thrive.
When you have all the resources at your hands that you could, use to turn into whatever medicine, tools, yada yada yada. It was all there. Basically.
damn Adam and Eve for eating an apple. Why'd you have to do that for?
Damn it!
Ate the apple.
Was Garden of Eden in Africa?
We only think it's an apple because of white culture, though. You know how many freaking delicious exotic fruits there are in Africa that are a staple to our ancestors' diets that we don't even get to taste because
so we know it wasn't an apple. It was a mango or something, a fucking papaya. It was not no.
Yeah.
It was not no.
Mango. There's fruits that we don't even know the names of in equatorial Africa. That's just that they just I would love to just go there and just go crazy on all the tropical fruit they have there.
I know. I'll go crazy.
I'd probably be spending a lot of time in the bathroom because my gut flora wouldn't be prepared for it. But, it might be worth it.
I'm just looking at all those.
It's worth it, Bree. It's worth it.
Has anybody here ever been to Africa?
I'd love to, but I've never been. Have any of you?
Yeah, we need to. We need to. Girls trip.
Yeah, let's go to
Right.
Africa. Yeah, African men, girl, don't even get me started.
The closest I ever got was a former partner
that's
who was
better than
studying to
fruit.
be a veterinarian. Went to go study the exotic wildlife and learn veterinary things, and she got bit by a yellow sac spider. And so she sent me a photo of the spider, and she was like, "Am I going to die?" And I'm like, "You're the veterinary student. Why are you asking me?" So I looked
No.
all the things up, and I was like, "No, you're not. You're going to have an unpleasant couple of weeks, but you're not going to die."
Ouch, man. Yikes on bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow sac spiders aren't deadly.
I hate them ball sack spiders. I don't know about you.
This is our bug expert, the beautiful business.
Yes, I'm the community bug expert.
That's right.
I'm actually an animal expert, but people just think I just know bugs because I leaned into it. But yeah.
Smart cookie
I
here.
know a little bit, but nothing about a lot of bit.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Should we? Okay. So do y'all want to watch any clips at all? That's the only thing is I didn't clip
I don't have
anything.
any prepared. Oh, you didn't? Anybody can get a quick one?
I didn't.
Let me give YouTube a once over.
I mean, quite
Okay.
frankly, if we pulled up that Senate hearing, we probably could pop in at any moment because I practically heard something that was bananas.
And hear his dumb shit every second.
Yeah,
why not?
really.
We could go
Like,
on
he's
and on about
conflating.
specific changes he's made. That's fucking crazy. But
Oh
why not?
yes,
you know.
I've seen some beautiful African tribal ladies. Yes, I would second that. I'd be like, y'all are. I don't. It's just something.
Here we
I
go.
don't know. I'm a light skinned Black person, but something about a darker skin. It just seems to like scream poured into a person. I don't know. It's just beautiful.
How about those?
Bugs are people too. Oh,
we won't have to watch the whole thing, but this 40 minutes of the wildest moments. So let's see how far we can get into this before we die.
Right.
All right. Are we ready? Let me know when you all are ready.
Close enough.
And Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Secretary, you may make your opening statement at this time.
Thank you, Chairman Crapo, and thank you, Ranking Member Wyden, for the invitation to appear before the committee today. Before I summarize,
Can we look at this man?
What in that?
And say, is this the pinnacle of health? Because that's what the when they were doing on the campaign trail, they're all like, "Oh, RFK is so healthy. Look at how healthy he is," and showing him like working out and shit. But he's a kind of a. I mean, he's had a lot of problems, a lot of health problems because he doesn't take very good care of his health.
I'm looking at. Okay.
I mean, I don't mean to be like, oh, look at this guy, gross. But like we mentioned the tan earlier, obviously.
Wait, can I say something? I think that all of us would say we normally would not comment on somebody's appearance. I just don't think that's the right thing to do. But the reason why I say it is probably necessary or okay to comment on his appearance, because this is a man who said he's going to the airport and he knows kids aren't healthy because he's looking at them. He's watching how they move. He says they move slow. They don't look intelligent. Like, so he's the one commenting on people's appearance and making judgments based on those. So,
well,
yeah,
I think it's okay to do the same to him. I just do.
It's not so much a tu quoque thing. It's the fact that he is being held up as an example of good health. And he is
clearly he's
not.
Thank you. You know what I was trying to say. I appreciate you. Spray tan ball sack. Thank you. Look at the truth.
Accomplished this year at HHS. I want to express my deepest condolence to the family of DeKalb County Police Officer David Rose.
I think RFK actually gets in the tanning bed, though. I don't think that it's spray tan with this one.
No, yeah, it doesn't look like it ends in a certain place like Trump's does, like it's makeup. It goes all the way. Like
he has that leathery look as someone who's been doing tanning bed since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they look like? Their skin gets sort of.
He probably thinks he's getting vitamin D.
Yeah.
Who gave his life to stop the gunfire attack on the CDC on August 8th. Officer Rose was a veteran. He was a husband and the father of 2 children. Officer Rose's widow, whom I visited, is expecting their 3rd child. I'd like Officer Rose's family to know that he remains in our prayers and that he will continue to be in our thoughts. Let me start with the big picture. Under President Trump's leadership, we at HHS are enacting a once-in-a-generation shift from a sick care system to a true healthcare system that tackles the root causes of chronic disease. Chronic diseases reach crisis proportions in our country. And finally, we have an administration that is taking action. The MAHA report assessment, which the White House released in May, was the first government analysis of the key drivers of childhood chronic disease. Ultra-processed foods, chemical...
He wants to replace himself as the key driver of chronic childhood disease.
Yep.
Ooh. Too real.
Exposures, physical inactivity, and over-medicalization. This month, we will follow with the MAHA report strategy, the Trump administration's
Bro's having a seizure while talking, telling us about how
solution for
unhealthy our
addressing
kids are.
each cause.
Right?
At HHS, we haven't just been writing reports.
See, there's a problem here with the administration that's going on right now, and just I guess the right wing in general. It's and as Ember talked about on a previous episode, I think the left-handedness thing is the best example of that. Like, oh, children are being diagnosed with autism now at crazy rates. Yeah, once we figure out how to diagnose something and it's not stigmatized to have a kid with mental health issues so much, it becomes easier for doctors to create a case file and do case studies on it, and it may look like it shoots up, just like looks like left-handedness shot up when
diagnosis with meaning, oh, there must be more disease. When no, we're actually able to diagnose it. That is the difference. Our medicine has given us that ability, you dipshit.
Mm-hmm.
In the busiest, most proactive administration in HHS history. In just half a year, we've taken on food dyes, baby formula contamination, the grass loophole, fluoride in our drinking water.
There's nothing wrong with fluoride in the drinking water.
Saves lives, actually.
Alex Jones shit, but like formula
fluoride actually does save
contamination.
lives. Oh my gosh.
That is a real problem. That's a thing that happened and is the reason we need oversight, because corporations will do all sorts of crazy shit if we don't keep an eye on them. But to put that in the same sentence as fluoride in the drinking water, like, what are we fucking doing here?
It's crazy that this administration can wave at one hand and say we're gonna stick it to the industries violating our health, and then on the other hand, they're rolling back EPA regulations that actually do protect us. So yeah, they're going to worry about fluoride in our drinking water, while the power plant up the street can now dump sewage into your drinking water or dump chemical waste. But that's a
good thing, because now they can take the brakes off. You know, the EPA was holding us back, so now they can take the brakes off. And as you said, that makes it doesn't make any sense. It's contradicting itself.
Right. What
Take the brakes off.
Catching on fire is their natural state. Who are we to interfere with the natural flame cycle of rivers?
Gas station heroin, electronic cigarettes, drug prices, prior authorization.
Oh my gosh, Ember, sorry, you just put it in my head. These people that think that we need to repeal the EPA and stuff, they need to look at pictures of cities and stuff before the EPA, where you couldn't see 3 blocks because of the smog.
Yep.
Like Michigan catching on, or not Lake Michigan. Which one? It was Erie that caught on fire, right?
I forget which one, but yes, I remember.
Oh yeah.
Because we were polluting the Great Lakes so much.
Chicago River, the whatever the fuck river goes through Cincinnati.
That one.
I think the Thames a couple of times during the Industrial Revolution. Anyway, it just.
Yeah,
we dump all kinds of crazy shit in the river if nobody stops us.
Or the ocean. There's a continent-sized patch of garbage in the middle of the ocean because that's where we dump things. We got microplastics in our pee because of that too.
And our brains. Don't we have microplastics in our brain?
Where that
your whole body
family died because they put the stuff in the water, killed the livestock, the people, everything. So yeah.
Information blocking.
It takes over 3 months to get prior authorization. Senator Kennedy, do you know something?
The committee will come to order.
She's yelling about for the pre-authorization program. So this is what
Okay.
insurance companies use to approve medical and pharmaceutical services internally, and they shouldn't be able to do that. And I know because confession, I used to be one of the people that reviewed the request and contrasted them against the plans and the drug list and everything specifically for pharmaceuticals. But it can take for certain processes, it can take up to 6 months to get a prior authorization approved. It's ridiculous. It's the system
what
that's in
haven't
place,
you
and
done?
and this is what happens when they're allowed to self-regulate. When there's not rules externally enforced upon these companies, and they're allowed to self-regulate within, you're waiting 6 months to get your medication approved that your doctor says you
my
need to be
God.
healthy.
You could be dead by fucking 6 months, bro.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the goal. It's
Jeez.
not
And-
only do they not care if you die, they want you to die, because once you become a drain on the coffers, you're no longer
Want you out.
contributing, you're trying to take back out. They would rather see you dead than take their money.
Well, did you guys see like the new they're rolling out AI. They're going to try to roll out AI to do the whole approval, disapproval for what gets paid for and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
prior they're going to let AI
Yeah.
take over doing prior authorizations, which is freaking amoral as fuck.
have we ever heard of Luigi Mangione? Does that name ring a bell?
I think the goal is to take the responsibility
No, I
off
never heard of
people
him.
and be like, oh, this is just the policy that you paid for. Sorry. This is the policy you signed up for. Our computer checked and it says you don't have coverage for this service unless you meet these requirements, which you don't. And
I know with me, I had to file bankruptcy because I've had, like I said before, uterine cancer back in 19. And even though I had medical coverage through my insurance, and I worked for a big 3 company, Blue Cross, should be a good insurance, and I still had over $40,000 in medical coverage, medical things
Yeah,
I had to still
same.
pay out of pocket, and I end up having to file bankrupt because I couldn't cover
I
all
was
that.
contracted with Blue Cross. I was also contracted with the Medicare and Medicaid. So
Yeah. So even if you have private
and they have-
insurance, it still don't
and
help
they have
you.
authorization programs too. Don't get me wrong. Medicare and Medicaid have their own authorization shit that's stupid.
Mhm.
But private insurers are where the problem is. Private insurance companies is who we should point at when we talk about regulating capitalist systems, right? That's who we should be gesturing to and saying this is what happens when that system's left to when they're left to write their own regulations and enforce their own standards. Of course, I don't think insurance should exist at all. I mean, I like single payer myself.
Right. There shouldn't even be a
Insurance can exist
middleman.
as
There's no
is a
reason for
bonus
it.
for
That's what's making the
high-risk
healthcare costs
people.
expensive is because there's a freaking middleman.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's just a profit mechanism between the provider and the resources. It's just an agency has inserted itself and is milking profit on both ends, and that's all they do is milk profit. Because an insurance company will never send you medicine that your doctor doesn't prescribe. It's not like they make you healthier or they do a better job than your doctor. They're just extracting profit from the system. That is it.
Yep.
And don't believe MAHA when they try to tell you that, because MAHA is built in to have their lips firmly wrapped around the genitals of the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies, who are working in tandem, by the way. Pharmaceutical companies or their distributors in the U.S., because a lot of them are overseas, because like Novo Nord's out of the, I can't remember which Nordic country it's out of, but they literally, the U.S. market subsidizes the cost of their services, and they do like diabetic services too for the rest of the world, because our market allows them to charge so much for diabetic treatments. Like it subsidizes the cost of the rest of the world because everybody else you get that stuff basically for free as part of your your public health services. Insulin's not expensive or anything, but they can jack up the prices on it here on the U.S. so that our diabetic patients basically float the bill for everybody.
That
Nice.
just seems so.
Yeah. It's
I just got
extremely
a
screwed
We've
message
only got 2.5
request from
minutes into
Elon
this
Musk.
video.
up, right?
I apologize to you for that outburst, Secretary Kennedy. I would notify everyone else in the
I don't.
audience. Comments from the audience are inappropriate. If there are any further disruptions, the committee will recess until the police can restore order. Mr. Secretary, please proceed.
As I was saying, prior authorization, information blocking, and healthcare interoperability. We're ending gain-of-function research, child mutilation, and reducing animal testing.
Can I clarify there that child mutilation is talking about research into transgender healthcare?
He calls it child
ending
mutilation. He didn't call circumcision. Why don't he talk about circumcision being child mutilation? I bet he won't. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we're not. You're not going to see prior. As long as insurance companies exist, you're not going to see prior authorizations go anywhere. And if he wants to keep his corner of the political spectrum happy, he's going to have to bow to the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies because that's big money for politicians. That's like the pharmaceutical lobby is right up there with the oil lobby at the top of the food chain. So you're not going to be able to do away with prior authorizations until you reform our healthcare system.
We are addressing cell phone use in schools, excessive screen time for youth, the lack of nutrition education in our medical schools, sickle cell anemia, hepatitis C.
Hey, y'all remember when Michelle Obama wanted to make our school lunches healthier and better for the kids? And
yeah, they called that like empty. You know what I mean? Like it was just a ploy. Like they didn't take it serious.
Yeah,
I miss her so much.
Yeah, it was just a big joke. But now he's talking about making it our school lunches healthy. And like, oh yeah, we need to do that.
That's what she was trying to do. You dipshit.
Well, she wanted to do it wrong. She was all obsessed with like nutrient content and whatnot. What we really need, according to Bobby here, is we need to put lead into the scrambled eggs to make our kids' bones strong. And
strong as lead. Yeah, and it'll help fight off toxins because toxins can't get through lead.
Be like Superman, there's some steel to it too.
Yeah,
they'll be X-ray impervious. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
their organs will be calcified and strong.
Yeah, and we forgot that Trump, for the Super Bowl celebration, he gave everybody McDonald's.
There's actually a picture of
McDonald's for the thing for the sports. Like these are sports. How do you have McDonald's?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, and this is the guy that got was it Steak and Shake that got all we're doing tallow fries, like that's gonna be so much healthier, and RFK was all about it.
Yeah, if it's new, he's about it.
That's the thing, though. Cooking fries in tallow is what got them like to become the staple fast food side dish. Is that's how it started, was tallow. It's basically like going back to putting sugar in Coke, like which was what Trump was talking about.
It's so much better to me, though.
And
I remember
the reason we don't do that is
the
reason we don't do that is because America, we don't grow sugar cane, we grow corn, and so they want to putting corn syrup in there instead of real sugar
helps the farmers,
helps the American farmers.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they're already screwed. They're already getting screwed because they don't have anybody to work their fields.
Yeah, we're gonna have a real hard time. I don't know about the rest of the country, but in my part of the world where we have a lot of dairy cows and so forth, orchards too. We have a shit ton of orchards in my state.
Yeah,
There's
Michigan as
nobody to
well.
harvest the orchards. So when it comes time
Fruit.
for harvest, the stuff's just all
Rotting
gonna
on the
rot.
vine.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the kids do it. Just have the kids do it like they want.
I know,
Right.
child labor for sure. It's just
Yeah.
it's fucking wild.
That's what they
But,
want
like,
to do.
And
all
then you
the
can just
dairy
bring $5
farmers-
an hour if it's a kid, right? You don't have to pay him a real wage if it's just a child doing the labor.
Yeah, I mean, just put the kids,
We give
Call it
them
an
work
internship
experience.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
The
And work
dairy
around those
farmers
big
have to import
columbines or whatever
their
they're called.
feed.
I'm sure that's not dangerous whatsoever.
No kid has
No.
ever been run over by a combine.
Never.
Ryan,
I
don't
said
know.
Columbine.
Columbine.
Well,
Some kids did get run over in Columbine for sure, but
I'm sorry.
Well,
Thank you for correcting me. Combine, not a Columbine. Oh my God.
anyway, the reason I brought up the sugar thing is because the reason we moved from tallow to corn oil is the same reason, to help push the American corn industry, help boost it up by making all of our cooking oils corn based. It's the same
yes.
situation. So, like, are the farmers I imagine when you look at a map of who votes where, the red areas, that's generally where farmers live. So why are these farmers voting against people who want to take their livelihood away? It's crazy. They want to take corn oil out of cooking in restaurants and public services where they cook. They want to put sugar back into soft drinks instead of corn syrup. They're really coming at the corn industry, and these people voted
like
for
all,
them.
all the farmers on multiple ends. Like there's that fella from Missouri with the Soybean Association who's been going back and forth with the media and the White House about the tariffs, because thanks to the tariffs being reciprocal, they've lost billions of dollars of contracts, and now they're all going to go bankrupt. Him first.
And being anti-soy is another big part of the MAGA movement. Is like, oh, we're anti-soy, soy boys, oh, soy milk, blah blah blah. The soybean industry is like huge in the U.S. Like, do they think is it a farmer sitting down at his computer after a long day in the fields calling people soy boys? He farms soybeans. What's the situation here?
Soy de los Estados Unidos. That's the only soy I know.
I don't even know that one.
The East Palestine chemical spill, and many, many others. At FDA, we are now on track to approve more drugs this year than at any time in history. I'm also proud to say that HHS under President Trump is doing more with less. We have taken measures to fight waste, fraud, and abuse just by eliminating duplicative enrollments.
Didn't he mention over medication? Now he's talking about producing more new drugs than ever.
Right. Like, what's
Make it make
happening
sense.
here? Yes, make
He's
it
saying
make
these
sense.
two things cannot work at the same time.
No, not congruent,
No.
buddy.
In CMS, we are saving taxpayers $14 billion a year. Meanwhile,
Okay,
we're
wait.
expanding access
Where is
for
that
people
14 billion going? They continuously throw out these numbers of how much it's saving us a year, but nothing is changing. Our taxes are not going down. Where is this infusion of money going to go that's going to benefit us? Oh, wait, it's just going to go to all these freaking weirdos, the regime, the Trump regime. Give me a break.
And the Pentagon, so that they have the muscle to protect their regime.
Yeah, that's where they're putting all the money, is into the freaking military dipshits.
Right. And then they're
Private
releasing and then they're setting the military on us. We are paying for the military that they're putting into our cities.
We're killing ourselves because they're taking away from our health care and our education system to pump it into the military so they can police us.
needed. We are ending racist diversity, equity, and inclusion practices and instead focusing on aiding low-income and vulnerable families. regardless of their race, which was
It's so weird to hear a Kennedy rail against diversity, equity, and inclusion, since his family was so instrumental in the codification of equal rights for all people. Like the Kennedys were famous for their for
You're right.
during, especially John F. Kennedy, but generally speaking, throughout the history since then, they've been kind of the human rights family of the oligarchy, the ones that are like, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So, but his family's turned their back on him too. He doesn't got like Kennedy support on his side.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, you can see reports reports from his like nieces and cousins and stuff saying, "Now, fuck this guy."
I do believe I saw one of those from his niece, but
Yeah.
the original intent of Title X. We're also pouring $1 billion into Head Start and the Administration for Children and Families. Compassion need not be the casualty of efficiency.
yeah, okay.
I'd like to highlight some issues that have not gotten media attention. First, we are doing our part to fulfill the president's commitment to stop human trafficking, especially of children.
Is
But
that why
that's
you
not-
brought the Tates back to the U.S.? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, is that, and then also the fact that you got rid of the programs to help people who were violated, like the programs that actually support victims. They're getting rid of those programs, which I at one point in time in my life benefited from because they helped me pay a very expensive ambulance bill. Yeah, so GTFO is what I have to say about that.
Yeah, and when it comes to trafficking, I think that didn't your administration you're working for just move one of the most notorious sex traffickers in history from her maximum security prison to a cushy country club prison for blue collar criminals? Didn't that just happen?
Exactly. Ugh.
We inherited a terrible humanitarian crisis from the previous administration with its open border policies, which allowed the appalling loss of 476,000 unaccompanied children. We have implemented policies now to ensure that appalling tragedy can never happen again. We have knocked on 82,000 doors and located 22,000 of those children.
I sort of wish that we had some numbers on, like, pulled up right now. I didn't know the border shit was going to come up because I thought this was health care, but like their numbers for the border under Biden and under Trump are not going to look the way that you think they look. It doesn't just drop under Trump. He didn't get anything under control or anything. They were already Biden already had a tyrannical border policy.
Yeah, I know.
Obama had a tyrannical border policy. I don't know. I don't want to speak for everybody on the panel, but I don't like stand for the Democratic policies or anything. They're just marginally better than the Republicans. I think both parties are pretty awful.
I'm starting to feel that a major portion of Democrats are actually gatekeepers, and they are actually stopping the progressive left because they are the larger party and continuously put roadblocks in our way, which I think that whole APAC with David Pakman and this dark money thing on the Democrat side has made such a stir, because they are stopping those who want progress from getting the ability to
Pakman and Cohen and
yes, David Tyler Cohen or whatever his name is. Yes, Brian Tyler Cohen. My bad.
Brian Tyler Cohen. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
and David Pakman. They're centrist. They're holding up the status quo.
Yeah, they're stopping.
They may want to. They may be marginally, have an intention of keeping things from slipping into fascism, but mainly they're there to keep us calm while things slowly slip into fascism.
Exactly.
I promise you that we will do more in the next 3 years. We are also addressing the disastrous health conditions in tribal communities on Native American reservations. I've met face to face with tribal leaders in dozens of communities and tribes in Alaska, Arizona, Idaho, New Mexico, and elsewhere. And I look forward to making HHS resources more available to those communities. One of the most significant initiatives under President Trump is the rural health transformation.
I'm actually into that. I'm really into giving more federal aid and healthcare support to tribal entities.
Same.
One of my roommates is a Choctaw member of the Choctaw tribal community, but they get their healthcare through it, and it's not the best.
No.
They don't have access to the best stuff.
No, there's some reservations that still do not have running water, that don't have clean water whatsoever. And of all people, the indigenous people should be the one that have that, since that's how they were living before, pre-colonial times. So it's really unfortunate that they're the ones who are suffering most and don't have access to healthcare, to water, to schooling, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm
bare minimum.
Yeah. And that is something I would champion him. I would cheer him on. Like, that's the only policy I think that might be worth keeping. The rest of it just seems like bubkiss.
Yeah. That's the first thing he said here that made sense or didn't have something else in it, in what he's saying to contradict. Because he said good things, but he's also said contradictions to them. Like, he talked about getting rid of prior authorizations, but he also talked about producing more drugs, which means it's going to require more prior authorizations, because when they enter that phase of production where they're released to the public, they keep super close tabs on how effective they are with the population. So that's going to require more prior authorizations, not less. He's saying contradictory things, but what he said about the reservations, I'm on board with. Hear, hear.
Here.
Fund part of the president's big, beautiful bill, which will provide the greatest investment of federal money into rural health care in history.
Senator Bennett. Mr. Secretary, in June, you fired every member. Mr. Secretary, Mr. Secretary, may I have my time back, Mr. Chairman? Thank you. Mr. Secretary.
No reprimand for that? That lady coming up there and be like, oh, you know what? I'm more important than the Senate hearing.
Right? Couldn't you write a note? God damn.
Look at the balls on that woman. I mean,
did that lady go to the same tanning place? Because she looked like tanning.
Yeah.
In the background, I got the same kind of tan going on.
That's his tanning consultant. She was checking to make sure his appointment for Friday was still on.
That's what they're calling the cow leather.
Because they got the same kind of tan.
Thank you for your attention. In June, you fired every member of the well-qualified panel that was charged with recommending vaccines to the CDC. No one in your job has ever fired every committee member all at once. That month, you told the American people that you were, quote, going to bring great people onto the ACIP panel, not anti-vaxxers. Are you aware that one of the people you put on the panel, Dr. Robert Malone, claimed that the commonly used mRNA vaccine, quote, causes a form of AIDS and can damage children's, quote, brains, their heart, their immune system, and their ability to have children in the future? Yes or no, Mr. Kennedy?
And Dr. Malone is one of the inventors.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Were you aware that he had that view when you appointed him to this panel?
Dr. Malone is.
And he will just not answer anything straightforward, which is super infuriating.
I guess I should unmute myself if I want to rant. Yeah, it's
That makes
these
sense.
are the people they're putting in charge of our health care system.
Mm-hmm.
A person who said that it caused AIDS.
It caused
AIDS
a form of AIDS. What the?
Yeah.
I know better.
Yeah, it reminds me of something that people used to say when I was a kid, like in the 90s when AIDS was bad. Like, oh, that when you'd not like a video game or something, but like, oh, that game was so bad it gave me AIDS or whatever.
I don't
like,
know where to start either, Deviant, at all.
This stream is giving me AIDS.
Yeah, exactly.
RFK.
As I said, Dr. Malone is one of the inventors of the mRNA
That's fine. That's
vaccine,
not
so he knows a lot more
that
about
statement,
it than I do.
Mr. Chairman, that statement is not true that Dr. Malone made, just as it wasn't true when you wrote that, quote, African AIDS is entirely different.
You need to run a poll in the side chat here and ask if this hearing gave them AIDS.
I don't know about AIDS. I think I got leprosy.
Yeah. A little bit of brain rot. I think I actually caught the brain worm directly, like through my computer screen.
And that's how The Walking Dead came to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Watching this stream. Zombies.
Yeah, these are
everywhere.
only the wildest moments, guys.
Oh, Lord.
From Western AIDS. Are you aware that another one of these from the quote African AIDS is entirely different
African AIDS.
from
Ooh.
Western AIDS? Are you aware that another one of these new members, Dr. Levy, wrote that, quote, evidence is mounting and indisputable that mRNA vaccines cause serious harm, including death, especially among young people? Yes or no? Are you aware that he said that?
I wasn't aware he said it, but I think I agree with it.
You agree with it?
He
It's not
agrees with
true.
it.
It wasn't true when he said it. It is not true when you said it. Secretary.
Who the fuck are you? You fucking. Ugh. And
Your left eye is twitching.
I mean, this is. Ben posted something the other day about RFK that he has no credentials to make any kind of health assessment on anything, and him just saying, "I think they cause all these that mRNA vaccines cause these problems." Is fucking. Who cares what you think?
I don't care about your opinion. I care about
I think
science.
putting chili peppers in my gas tank will make my car go faster, but it doesn't. That doesn't mean that people should just listen to me.
Oh my gosh. Me
Yeah,
too.
Amy.
Secretary
Blood pressure
Kennedy,
going up.
later this month, your new panel will meet to consider changing vaccine recommendations for American children. In addition to the COVID-19 vaccines, they are set to review recommendations for the hepatitis B vaccine, for measles, for mumps, for rubella and varicella vaccine, and the RSV vaccine. These are common back-to-school vaccinations for children.
Now, some states have completely gotten rid of their back-to-school vaccine requirements, like completely.
Well, Florida
Florida?
Florida's. I don't know if they have or they're debating it, but it's on the table either way.
Yeah, I'm glad that we got back to school this year, at least before they were able to try to enforce that on this school year. I mean, we just made it like by weeks, but yeah,
Exactly.
we'll see. Ember, what time is your thing? Is your goddess show start at 9?
It starts at 11. Well, I guess it'd be 9 for
11
you then.
EST, right?
Yeah, 11
EST.
Eastern Standard. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm on Mountain Time right now. It's 8:30.
Okay. Yeah.
You all, it's
then it would
10:30,
be
right?
9. Yeah, it'll be
It's
9
10
for you then.
10:30
Yeah,
for
10:30,
Ryan and
yeah.
Ember,
Yes.
and then
Yep.
it's 9:30
Yeah,
for
10:30 for
Kelly,
me.
right?
No, it's 10:30 for me. I
Oh,
am Eastern Standard.
Is Detroit Eastern Standard? I thought it was
Yes,
Central.
we are. No, we're
Oh,
Eastern.
Indiana. Yeah, Indiana's where the line is. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I know it is certain parts of Michigan that are Central Standard,
Yeah.
but that's
Oh, there
closer
are?
to yeah, it is. Yeah. You okay,
Okay.
love?
My bad. I'm good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Are you wearing
Can't
a
wait to get to
kimono,
meet you,
October?
Deviant.
Am I wearing a kimono?
Yeah.
No, it's just a really big men's like Hawaiian shirt.
Oh. You would look cute in a kimono, though.
Oh,
I want a
thank you.
kimono. I want a silky
What-
one. They
what-
feel so
what wouldn't she look
soft
cute in,
against your
though?
skin.
Honestly, what wouldn't she look cute in?
Oh,
I don't
stop.
think nothing she look cute in.
You're
No.
beautiful.
Well,
You
we're
look cute
honoring
in
you right
everything.
now. That's what I'm saying. She won't look ugly in anything. She wear paper bag and look beautiful.
Mhm.
Kelly, stop
A
that.
plastic bag.
I love you. I appreciate you. And I think you're all amazing and beautiful and intelligent, which is something I truly,
Who said I mean?
cherish.
No one has mentioned at all or made any commentary about the face that I froze this guy on.
It looks like Donald Trump giving a blowjob to the mic.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it
Over
might
the
be
industrialized world.
There. I had to get it off the screen. Go ahead, Kelly. I'm sorry.
No, Al asked was the in Indiana City, Michigan Central. I believe it might be, but I know Kalamazoo is. I know that. Out of Central.
If you change that, you owe parents in Colorado and across the country the benefit of some transparency, I think. If your panel recommends changing the vaccine schedule for children, do you anticipate that fewer children will receive these common vaccinations, yes or no?
What I would say, Senator.
The obvious answer is yes. Should parents and schools of Colorado be prepared for more measles outbreaks as a result of that, Mr. Secretary?
Senator,
How about more mumps outbreaks?
I do not anticipate a change in the MMR vaccine. ACIP is an independent panel. So,
Well, it's a panel. You just put those folks on. Far from what you said, they're people with ideas that are completely outside the
Is he
mainstream.
wheezing?
you mean out of the pharmaceutical?
Oh, I was asking, was he wheezing? I heard some wheezing in the background. Was that his?
If you listen closely the entire time, you can hear him breathing.
He's wheezing in the microphone the whole
I
time
hear
he's
him
talking.
wheezing. I'm like, oh, he's wheezing.
Yes, the
This
entire
is
time.
Mr. Health
Yeah,
that we're
Mr. Health
listening to.
telling us how we need to live our lives because he is just the epitome, the picture of perfect health.
Fucking mouth breather.
Let me just say, Mr. Secretary, all these vaccines that we're talking about today are free and accessible to parents today in America who have the freedom to be able to make that choice for their children. Will that be true after your handpicked panel makes their judgments about these vaccines?
I think that parents should be free to.
I know you said that before. I do too.
To make
But
their own
you're-
choices.
So will they be just as free after these?
I assume they will be.
I assume.
Does he understand that if he removes these things from the system, the requirements for these, the companies the insurance companies that cover them will say, okay, you're not required to get this for your kid to go to school anymore, so we're not going to include this as part of your ACA benefit, which is your ACA benefit is what you're required to be covered, and that's going to be based on what government regulations require. If the government is not requiring you to have your kids vaccinated for school, then these vaccines will no longer be covered under an ACA benefit, will be covered under a standardized vaccine benefit, which will cost hundreds of dollars for parents every year for each child.
He's not picking up, he is not getting, or no, he does. I know he does. I know he understands that his rhetoric is affecting how insurance companies will or will not pay for vaccines or, COVID or whatever moving forward. Like he's not, I believe that's all intentional, but he's trying to pretend like he doesn't get it or doesn't see it. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
but we're
he's acting
pro-life
like that's not
though.
Would you say, Kelly?
I said, but they're pro-life though.
Oh yeah, they're
Uh-huh.
real pro-life liars.
Hold you to that, Secretary Kennedy, because this is not a podcast. It is the American people's health that's on the line here. This is the last thing, by the way, our parents need when their kids are going back to school, is to have the kind of confusion and expense and scarcity that you're creating as a result of your ideology. I think it's critical for you to share the evidence that this panel will rely on. Will you give the American people 6 months or 6 weeks in advance the record that they're going to rely on to make these decisions? Will you make it transparent for the American people?
All the evidence is transparent.
Will
all
you
the
make it
evidence-
in advance transparent for the
You cannot say all the evidence is transparent and then claim that you believe mRNA vaccines cause autism and other complications up to and including death. You cannot make those two claims at the same time.
I mean,
If
you
you don't, if
can.
you think that second is true, then you didn't do the first.
American people so they can comment on it.
All the evidence is transparent for the first time in history, and you were never there
For the first
complaining
time
when
in
the
history.
pharmaceutical companies were picking those people and then running their.
And
Didn't
then
he
you're
just
basically doing the same.
Didn't he just explain a few minutes ago that he was working with the pharmaceutical companies to push drugs through at an exponential rate that we've never seen before?
Because
And
when
that
he does it, it's okay.
And he was also working with them to remove prior authorization programs. Two counterintuitive options there, but that on the back burner. He's going to complain about the person who's the senator that's talking to him now working with the pharmaceutical companies, even though he's already confessed that that's, his full intentions of his MAHA program. And you think I keep ranting, but this is kind of like because of the field that I work in. This is kind of near
no
and dear to
problem.
my heart.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, at least we're getting an expert opinion on the topic.
Yeah. I wouldn't call myself an expert, but yeah,
Compared to
because
him,
I was doing
Exactly.
things that I don't feel like I should have been doing with my credentials, right? I only had like pharmacy, like what would be the equivalent of a pharmacy technician, but
that's more
going
than
through
he has.
they were actually having me go through the drug decks and the FDA guidelines and the CDC regulations of people to make sure that people were meeting the standards that they needed to get their prescription drugs. And that is an important part of the vetting process for efficacy. Early on, prior authorization programs can work in the favor of the patient because it regulates and keeps a close eye on how the patients are responding to the services before they release it onto the public, right? But if you get rid of the prior authorization program just willy-nilly, if you just get rid of it, then you're going to have a lot of drugs that aren't actually as effective as the manufacturers claim from their controlled testing, because they didn't do a broader survey of how the population is responding to the medication, which is what the prior authorization program allows for. They have to collect all the information about the patients, about their medical history and other conditions they might have, things like that. That's what they have to go through. That, but it shouldn't take more than a couple of days for a prior authorization program to work correctly. But the prior authorization programs that are a problem are the ones that where the people have to wait for months and months while somebody while their insurance company has a on-staff physician look at lab results, and that physician due to them being a physician says, "Oh, I want 2 weeks to be able to review these," or whatever. And that person's waiting the whole time. So prior authorization programs like that are stupid. If a doctor's already recommending it, I think we should just, the insurance company shouldn't be able to say, "I want a second opinion," type with their prior authorization program. But if they're saying, "Yeah, we're clocking efficacy for the manufacturer on this," then sure, yeah, prior authorization is fine. Just wanted to clarify that, because I railed on prior authorizations earlier, and now I feel like maybe I mischaracterized it a bit, but there's a time and place for these sorts of things.
Right.
Products through with no safety
You
testing.
you can characterize it any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You
Are you
described
saying,
people
Senator,
moving the Titanic.
Senator, are
the
you
chairs on
saying
the
that a
Titanic
mRNA
with-
vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis in teenagers?
I am simply.
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel, after firing the entire.
You're evading the question.
No, I'm asking the question.
You're evading that question.
I'm asking the question.
Who does he think he is?
Right?
Holy shit.
Right?
You're being grilled in a Senate hearing, and you're like, why are you avoiding my question? Because
Like,
you're
bro,
not
you
asking questions, bitch.
Right. This ain't your hearing, bitch.
questions.
I
Mr.
asked you a
Kennedy.
question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all
Doctors.
over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
Ugh. This is that nodding bitch behind him. She just triggered me with her. It's like, no.
Senator White.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I've made it clear. I think that Secretary Kennedy is dead set on making it harder for children to get vaccines and that kids are going to die because of it. And Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put in the record today an op-ed written by Susan Monarez, who was fired by Mr. Kennedy.
Without objection.
So what we know, and
Thanks
Dr.
for sharing the
Monarez,
link,
was
Ryan.
approved by
You're
Republicans.
amazing.
She wrote an op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal, which I've just put in the record, and I quote her. She said, "I was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel newly filled with people who have publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric." So it's not some liberal philosopher or something. This is the CDC director who tells the Wall Street Journal, which is not exactly interested in progressive, theories and the like, that she was told to pre-approve the recommendations of a vaccine advisory panel filled with people who've publicly expressed anti-vaccine rhetoric. So my first question, Mr. Secretary, is...
Holy shit, that's a revelation I didn't know about. This is my first time hearing about that.
Wait, what did he say that I missed? I missed something, or maybe I didn't.
He said that that it was reported that from the people who were doing that, who were hiring the panel to specifically hire anti-vax people.
Oh, yes. Can you believe that?
Litmus test.
Oh my God.
That's
Intentional anti-science litmus test. Intentional conspiracy theory litmus test. Because remember, the whole thing that it's blown up into is there's a conspiracy to hide the truth. It's, all the microchips and all that is a little further down the rabbit hole, but it's all related. And it's just one more Hydra head on the conspiracy theory, which is always the same conspiracy theory, whether it's
is this a good place
or
to
flat earth or vaccine denial or trans people. It's all the same conspiracy theory.
It all has like the same thread. They're interwoven together. And and if we watched further into it, this probably is a good place to stop. But he also discusses how the infant mortality rate is going up. Bro, I can tell you why the freaking infant mortality rate is going up, because you're forcing women, you're forcing people to have babies that aren't viable in the first place. And then the maternal mortality rate is going up because, they're dying because they can't get abortions. They can't get the health care that they need, and they're bleeding out.
Doctors are afraid to give abortions or to give to give life-saving abortions, even for stillborn.
Do you see that woman who died?
I've seen a few women die.
Yeah, but recently I just saw one. She was in a car and she was just talking about how she went into, I believe it was cardiac arrest, because she, had sepsis, because they sent her home when she was miscarrying, and then she ended up like hemorrhaging and you know what I'm trying to say. Thank you. But how scary is that people are actually dying, like they're coding and have to be brought back to life? And then he's saying, wow, look at these rates going up. Yeah, bro, I can tell you why that's happening.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to stop for the morning, because Ember's got her thing coming up.
Yes. So, okay, before we wrap up, why don't we go around and we can just tell everybody where they can find us, or if you have anything coming up. Ember, I know you have like a link for your GoFundMe and things like that. So why don't we go around the room? Bree, we can start with you, and then we'll wrap up.
Guess I can come back on camera. Not feeling very pretty right now, but
You're gorgeous. You shut the fuck up.
Gorgeous.
anyway, I'm Bree from Hive Sci. My shows are on Saturday mornings at 9:30 Central. If you want to come hang out with us, we do like cryptozoology and we look at conspiracy theories, all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're into that, come check it out. Come hang out. Every Saturday morning. And then I've been doing Charlatan's Web on Monday nights. Tonight, I'm actually on with Dr. Ben, and we're doing the medical medium, or the medical medium, who is a charlatan who uses medical jargon in his grift. So we're going to crack that open. And then after that, on Thursday nights we do the transpositions. That's me and Ember in our crew. We do a weekly show, and Ember's contribution is the good news. I'm the producer over there. I don't always have my own little contribution, but at the very least on Thursday nights you can expect to see some of us up on the screen, bringing you some good news, some sports, and all that stuff as it relates to the transgender community. All right, passing the talking stick over to you, Ember.
All righty. Well, I'm Ember. My main channel here on the YouTubes is Better Than Ember. And of course, I'm also on the transpositions team. I do some other stuff too, including this Java and Jugs show, which is intermittent when Chris isn't around because there must be a morning show. But I also do every Monday through Friday the After Damn morning show, morning-ish, because it's 11 a.m. Eastern, which means we go into what's technically the afternoon, but we go for a couple hours and explore mostly topics having to do with feminism, feminist issues, patriarchy, conspiracy theories, and all the things that are making our world actively worse. For instance, today we're having our wonderful friend and member of many of these communities, Deviant Outcast, over in just a few minutes to talk to us about, it's a follow-up from last week's episode about dark goddesses and why they terrified the ancient world so much that cowardly men constructed the patriarchy in the first place. We're following up on that with more on one of the most terrifying goddesses and also other Egyptian lore as it relates to all that stuff. It should be fantastic. And I know at least Kelly's coming over, possibly other people, because it's open to all the members of the Java and Jugs cast as they want and are available. I know everything's weird for everyone. But yeah, that's coming up in just a couple of minutes. I do a bunch of other stuff. So for your convenience, all my links and links to everyone else in the community I know about, plus a whole bunch of science resources and assorted goodies, are all on betterthanember.com.
Well done. Okay, Kelly. I know. Now you got to follow all that, Kelly. Come on.
I can't even come close to that. I do not have an actual channel. I do, but I don't post anything. It's redundant for me because I just watch these wonderful people's channels and get all the information you need. But I moderate, like I said earlier, for the Black Non-Believers channel and do technical support in that. So Black Non-Believers, we have our podcast every first and third Saturday of the month between 1 and 2 Eastern Standard Time, where we profile a Black atheist in our community. So as that, comment, like, subscribe to our channel. And also I've seemed to be being Amber's side superhero on her show, piggybacking off for her. So I've been on that a lot for her Hot Topic show.
That's right.
So that's where you'll find me if you want to see my face. Or come to the Detroit area and go to one of my events that Black Non-Believers of Metro Detroit gives. So you can see me in person. But
Yes.
you know, that's me for now.
I've been told that you give good hugs.
You need to find out because they
I
might
would
be
like
lying.
to find out in person.
For science.
They
For
might be
science
lying. But Amber and
Science
Bree
fitting.
said I do, so I think that there's
Yeah, I've received a hug. I think the jugs do help though, so I'm glad we have Kelly here bringing extra jugs to the Java and Jugs.
It's true.
We'll have to talk then, Lil of all trades. I love anybody who's into the
Yes.
goddesses. You know what I'm
I
saying?
would want the coca mocha that you
And the
didn't share with
coca mocha.
us.
Yeah,
Oh,
why
Mo, but
did
they
you
didn't share
did
with
you bring
us
enough to share with the class,
because I've
Lil?
never had that before.
I
Sharing is
don't have a wrench to
caring.
share Kelly's link for Black non-believers. I was going to drop it, and it said no, Bree.
Oh shoot. Hold
Same,
on.
but everybody's links are already in the description. Just click under the video, open up the description.
There
There's
you are.
the Java
So
and Jugs main link for the backups for every show we do. But every panel members links
thank you so
are
much.
I also-
at least their main
Gus.
links. Yeah.
I also sent Ryan. I dropped the link for the video that we covered today. If you wanted to include that as a source,
I do.
it's
just have it.
Forbes, so I don't
people
think you're
wanna-
going to get like sued or anything. But
Hey, you never know.
It's
Okay,
true.
we stopped abruptly, and people might want to finish and see how RFK responded. We might cover this again at some point, or go deeper into it at some point.
I definitely
But-
think that we should, because there was a lot more that was brought out in that hearing that we didn't
So
get
much
to.
more.
So much
Yeah.
more. And probably by
So
the time we
make
have a new
sure-
show, there will be even more that we'll need
Yeah,
to delve
make sure you're
into.
subscribed everywhere this show might be. It usually Ryan's on, but we're always on Java and Jugs, and sometimes we simulcast on other member channels because we may do future shows at different times. It isn't
Mhm.
always just a pirating of Chris's time slot when he's away. So make sure you're subscribed.
He's
so you
good
don't
doing
miss
it then too, though.
Actually,
that,
if I'm
yeah.
ever need to be away on a Saturday morning, I might call on you guys to fill in my time slot if I have to.
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
know what to talk
Yeah,
about.
it's a
I was just,
possibility too. If,
I don't know
yeah,
about
but
no
I have to
beans.
scoot because I
just
have to
had a
go
whole
push the button at the
conversation.
other show.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
know,
have to
but
talk about what I would
maybe
talk
it-
about on my show. You can talk
Yeah.
about whatever, just to fill in the time slot, and I'll send people to you.
oh, that would work.
Bree just
I
wants
want
to
to thank
slide us into
everybody
slot.
for coming in, for
Mhm.
tuning into the stream today,
Yes.
and
Yep.
thank you, Chris, for allowing us to have this time because you were taking care of family business. Thank you
Yes.
for letting us steal your beautiful co-host. We love her so much.
I
We
appreciate you
thank
all
her.
taking the time
She's
to.
ours now. You can't get her back. Ryan is ours.
We're taking over, Chris. Yeah, thank you everybody who joined us this morning. Please make sure you follow the links and go check out the next stream, which will have Deviant Outcast and Ember, and I forget who all else is going to be on. I might be able to join for only a little bit, but I got to walk Miss Pickles and then I got to go to gym. But I love you all. This has been amazing. And whatever happens, don't be too disheartened, because we have each other and we are going to keep fighting. And there are a lot of good people out there, even though there's a lot of evil, and what they want is for us to give up, and we're not going to do that. We're just going to get louder. So remember that. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow morning, and hopefully you all will see the beautiful ladies next up. Go follow.
Yes,
Bye,
I'll be
guys.
there. See you there.
Bye.
Okay, it's